Mozambique on the Swedish papers, who came to Sweden to play football, but he was finding it difficult because his story was he was playing on sand. He was not used to playing on grass. Now and then he said, okay, what can I do to help? And then that was when he started collecting boots to take to Mozambique. You know, he's taken about 1,500, that's about 1,500 boots there already. Now when he met with Lamin Diba, Lamin found them collecting boots and said, hey, don't throw it. And they said, no, we're not throwing it, we are using it. Then that was how it all started. And then Lamin told them the idea that he have an academy here in the Gambia, that they can come up and form a partnership. So this thing has been going on for close to 1 year now. The academy is registered, all the paperwork are in place. In fact, it has started. And they've been here for 1 week now. They've met with the authorities, that is the Football Association, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the Ministry of Basic Education, because this is going to be a state-of-the-art football academy that will also include an educational facility, okay? Because their vision is, obviously we know it is not possible for every member of that academy to make it as a professional player. But once you could not make it as a professional player, you will have the right education to have a skill that you can use as a way of living in life.
Well, remember this is the multi-sports, and it's also the program that gives you the chance also have your say on anything that we are discussing here. So shortly our technicians would scroll the telephone numbers on the screen so that you can also call and have your say probably on the backup story. I believe those are the numbers on the screen on the backup story, and whatever we are talking, whatever we are discussing here, so that you can also have the opportunity to have your say. Ibrahima, maybe you've heard or may not heard about the football heroes, but let's talk about the significance of having a state-of-the-art academy here. We have football academies. I don't call them football academies, I call them football clinics, but they are doing very good, but we need to get a state-of-the-art football academy that is really a football academy for the development of football. How important are such initiatives coming up?
I think it's a good initiative. I read it on Observer, so I briefly look at an overview of it. I think we have got recreational centers, we got training centers across the country. They shouldn't be underestimated. I believe the best coaches are the coaches who toil on that Sunday morning or the Saturday morning with these little boys and trying to get them to know, because it has to get right, it has to get very right in that very beginning. And if we have people overseas who will come to make sure they take that level to another level, I think the GFF and the authorities in the Gambia can only open their doors to them. It is a huge investment. It is in stages. I'm not really sure what is their program of activities as to how they will get into establishing the stages of the academy, but I saw an overview of it in Observer. But like you said, if Gambia would progress in football, we will have to attract investors in the area of a bottom-up approach. That is setting up our youthful quality that we have across the country as saturated talents here. But the guiding factor of them transitioning from where they are learning to a proper stage has always been a problem. Players are rapidly pushed into a proper league or a top league whereby it compromises their growth, because the growth template will have some issues along the way. But if you have foreign experts who will come up in, somebody will not going to invest such a huge amount of money without bringing technical experts or areas of experts whereby they will make sure they synchronize to make sure everything is in place. So all I can say is it is a good initiative. I hope it kick off from the ground, basically in the form of telling which stages is going to happen, because if you want to have an academy, you must acquire your own place first. I met some other people who have already acquired a place in Gunjur, around about $2 million, and they are trying to also set up an academy. I think first you must acquire a place, and then you come up with phases of development as to how many players you need, the structures, and the technical staff. Getting the academy, the most important thing is who is producing these players. The persons producing these players must know their role in the learning process. If not, they can't impart knowledge. And then you will be investing money. But as one of the reasons, the GFF this time around, they're going to make sure they embark on the capacitation aspect of all coaches and all stakeholders that are involved in the game to make sure they become resourceful as a whole person to accommodate the game in all aspects of the game. So for me, when I read it, I was impressed, and I'm hopeful that many of those people will venture into this country to invest, and people who become our wallpaper in the sense that people who will be the first time to meet with these people should be people to encourage them, give them the proper ideas and the proper advices to make sure they go through the proper channel so that when it is established, the benefit is across the country.
The country is endowed with a lot of talents that needs to be nurtured. But sometimes you walk in the street, you see a small boy doing amazing things with the ball. But give that child some few years, all the talents go down the drains. Coming up, such academies, Ibrahim said he know one that is coming in Gunjur and this one. The future seems to be look at least bright for Gambian football. If you can get the state-of-the-art football academies in the country. We've seen our neighbor in Senegal where you have the Jambar Football Academy. You have Ivory Coast, the Asec Mimosa Football Academy, which produces the drug bars and all those things. So if you can have that also, the abundant talent that we have in this country, definitely we can produce great stars in future.
Yeah, true. True. Like I said earlier, the academy has started already because when they were coming, they came with about 180 pairs of football boots and about 80 footballs, set equipments, and all those things. Now, they want these kids to start training right now, immediately, and also they want them to be playing competitive football. But what we are trying to achieve is, they are trying to achieve is in the short run. From here against January, they want to make sure that they start this whole thing running as accordingly. And it is in their plans to acquire their own land where they will have all their facilities. Now, but because they want to start something, because it is when something starts, then people will have the belief and confidence that this can happen. So, and then an idea came up that maybe for a start, they might use the facilities at the technical training center, that is the FIFA Gold project, but that has to be between them and the FA. They have to come up with something, whether they can come to an agreement for them to be using it temporarily before they acquire their own land. In their meeting with the federation, they briefed the federation about that, and they visited the training center. I'm sure they will put up something in writing, try and talk to the FA to see whether they can get access to that facility so that they can start their program, and in the meantime they can acquire their own land and put their own structures there. Also, they would want to have a team in the divisional league because they've seen the players, most of them are about 18 now, and very soon they will be over age to stay at the academy. So they don't want those talents to become idle. So they would want to make sure that they have a divisional team where these talents will be competing, and if possible, take them to Scandinavia for trials and see whether they will be able to make it.
I will signal that we have a caller on the line. Let's try to see who that caller is. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
Yes, Ibrahima. How are you? I'm from Mobile F and Co.
Yeah, thank you. What's your name?
The topic you're talking about is very important. So I think, we should look at it from a wider and a broader perspective. If international foreign bodies are coming to invest in our youthful system, then we should stop and think of whether we are really thinking about our grassroots or not. Because, before somebody coming out there, to come and invest in this new system, I think we should take this control back to the schools. The reason I'm saying this is because even Ibrahim Mane sitting next below, he was a schoolboy international. He was playing in the national team, and he was going to school. At his core, the likes of they were all playing in the national team and they were going to school. Right now in the Gambia, if you want to pick under 17, none of them will be going to school. So meaning the schools are sidelined. So if we take back